It is that time of the year. WrestleMania season is upon us. This is the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, and this is Booking WrestleMania.
People have been asking me to be the best in the world. Why, Eddie? Why? I'm better than you.
My eyes are red. I was in the back smoking a joint with Van Dam. You know it.
Ooh, there we go.
I love our intro. I
Yeah,
really
man.
do. Like it's become like a bop now.
Yeah, it's like
Now
a,
that we moved it
it,
from
it
the
just
very front,
it just warms the heart when you hear it every time. You gotta like vibe to it every single
it's a
time, right?
vibe. It's a vibe.
But speaking of a vibe, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Dangerous Duke,
It's your boy Stevie Job.
and welcome back to the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, putting wrestling over one podcast at a time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it does kind of feel weird doing the intro backwards. Like
It
normally I
does.
did your part and you did my part.
Yeah.
We got to go back to the other way next episode. But we did it for special reason because we are in the WrestleMania season. Things are going to go left, things are going to go right, but we're here to make sure the road stays a little straight because we are booking WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of you guys might be wondering, what does that mean, booking WrestleMania? It's kind of already booked. It is, but we got some matches that we don't know about and some matches that we don't know where they're going to be placed. And that's why we're here. And that's what this episode is all about. Speaking of the NFL, some good stuff happened. But either way, I'm going to start it off. This episode, I'll be booking, placing the matches where they should be, throwing in a little bit of swerves and some surprises. And then next episode, Stevie Jobber is going to be doing the same, and we'll see who comes up with the better Mania card.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But with that being said, I guess I'll take the reins. We're going to start with night one. I'm doing a pre-show. I don't know if they're going to do a pre-show for Mania or not. I don't think they did last year. But I'm going to book a pre-show real quick, and it's going to include two matches. One of these matches will be the Women's Battle Royal. I am going to throw the Women's Battle Royal back in there. I think they changed the name of it. I don't remember what it is. But
I can't remember who they named it after. If it's not just the women's.
But I kind of want the Battle Royal back. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I want it back.
I
What
feel
do you
like
think?
we got so many women that maybe that's why. So many good women now.
It's like we kind of need to showcase them doing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but that's my first match for the pre-show. It's the Women's Battle Royal. And then my second match for the pre-show, they were teasing it on SmackDown. I think it's going to happen at Mania. The Hurt Business versus the Final Testament.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's going to happen at Mania, but it's not like quite up there enough to be on the
They're
main
not.
card.
I don't know if it's us buying it or them pushing it, but something about the pitch screams this isn't main card. You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just me or not, but I feel like I got to put that on the pre-show. All right. And then night one, I'm going to kick it off with a title match. There's 3 title matches night one that I put. And the first one is going to be Gunther versus his gauntlet match opponent, which they haven't announced yet. As this episode comes out, it will be announced. I'm predicting, I don't know why, Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that where your head's at?
Because you feel it in your heart, right? It's something about Chatty Gable. It's like, man, this has got to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's the only one through everyone they pushed that's ever really, really made me feel like, oh, this has got to be the guy. It's got to be him. If there was ever a guy, it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
And then I think we kind of forgot about that for a few months. But when you look back on all the people in the gauntlet and on how they individually feel next to Gunther, he's the only one that's like, man, I really hope it's him.
Yeah, so it's like, and they got other people that they're throwing in the mix too. Nakamura, Sammy,
Who both deserve it. You
yeah,
know?
JD McDonough. doesn't deserve it. It's okay. You could say it. But no, yeah.
He's taking the L. That's my man, but not this year.
Yeah, but I mean, out of all them people involved, I feel like Chad Gable is going to be the best one. And
Mm.
you got your David versus Goliath aspect in the city of underdogs,
Mm.
It kind
We
of
love a
fits.
good underdog. We love a good underdog.
It fits. And to have it as the opening match would make
Yeah,
it even
man.
more sweet.
Yeah, man.
But that's my opening match right there. Gunther versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. And then the next match I have AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Now, most people are probably thinking second match on Mania. That's kind of like the dead spot. But because I think it's the dead spot, it's the perfect spot for AJ and LA Knight because they're going to make the show that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got your
Mm-hmm.
perfect people to put in that graveyard spot to keep the people entertained and on their
Because
feet.
you can't not be hype about LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be early in the night, and then all the people that are watching the match for LA Knight are gonna be very impressed by AJ Styles, and all the people that came for AJ Styles are gonna be just very entertained overall because we know what we're about to get.
Yeah.
So number two isn't bad for them. They might win match of the night at number two because you think you know what kind of match you're getting with Gunther. You know it's gonna be a good match. But then AJ and LA Knight are gonna give you a different type of good match with two different types of styles than the styles you just seen.
Mm-hmm.
I like them at number two.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And then the third match I have is a triple threat match for the
Mm,
U.S. title. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
I want that. I want that
Right?
night too. I mean night one. I want that night one.
Yeah. And then I also
All
said
the way.
I had a little bit of a swerve in here.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be where the celebrity spot comes in. Somehow in this match or with Logan in some way, shape, or form. And I think the celebrity or the famous person from the city that we're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
is the recently retired Philadelphia Eagle, Jason Kelsey.
Mm. I could see that. I could
Uh,
definitely see that.
like and
I could
at the
definitely see
at the
that.
Eagles Stadium,
Yeah, hell
nonetheless,
yeah. Hell yeah.
the dude is practically the
Hell
mayor. He's
yeah.
the unofficial mayor of Philly. I think you got to have Jason Kelsey involved at some point, and this is where you do it.
Have him tackle somebody.
Yeah, like I think he's gonna wind up tackling Logan.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
But that's what I see. I see Jason Kelsey getting involved at some point, and night one would be the
Mm.
night. Then the next match I have is Tribal Combat. Jimmy versus Jay.
Oh yes. Oh, okay.
Jimmy versus Jay.
Oh,
The
this night is rolling. I really do want that too.
night one is always the better night usually,
It
so
is always the better night. It
I
is
feel like
always the better night.
I feel like this is what it's gonna be. So, and I
What a
would love this.
smash.
I would love to see the two brothers battle each other on night one.
What a smash.
But I still had to try to finesse and finagle and make it to where night two had some hits too.
Mm-hmm.
So to round it out, there's two matches left for the women's WWE Championship. Bailey versus Io Sky. That's going to be the co-main event for night one.
Yes. Okay.
So that's the second to last match, Bailey and Io Sky.
Mm.
And then in the main event spot,
Mm. Okay.
Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman.
Mm.
How you feeling about night one for me so far?
Yikes. I'm scared for Bailey, bro. I'm scared for Bailey. But here's the thing. I have confidence because Bailey has never failed to entertain. And this is a heartfelt story that everyone's cared about, and she has not given enough respect. We are going to do a separate pod on that because I really want to get my ish off about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have not been I've been seeing it all over the place, and she's just not been given the appreciation she deserves for what she's done.
Understood.
But apart from that, and
So
Io
do you
Sky
think
is absolutely one of the best. So
I was
it's
going to
gonna
say, do
be
you think it's too high?
I think it's high. It's supposed to be high. Um, it's just like, damn, second to last is always the toughest match with time.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the Usos will be respectful enough to get out of there when they're supposed to get out of there to
Yeah.
leave enough time for the women to do their thing. So I feel like between, you know what I mean, between the two of them, that's gonna be a tough spot for her
Mm-hmm.
to produce
Get
a
a
good
decent
match
enough
against
match
other
in.
people. Yeah, yeah. But if they do it right, if
I
they
feel
do it
like if
right,
you leave like maybe an hour and 10 minutes left for the last two matches, you could get good enough time. Like if you can give Bailey and Io a good 17-minute match, that leaves Rock and Roman and all them with about 50 minutes
and add maybe
with the
two, three
intros and
minutes
everything
with
else.
entrances.
Yeah. And give you 5 minutes for the entrances, 6 minutes for the entrances. That means you got a 45-minute match on your hand, 40-minute match. I think they could do it.
I think they can do it.
All right, so that's my night one.
That's a great night one.
My night
That's a
two,
great night one.
starting on the pre-show,
I didn't remember what's on night two.
is the men's battle royal.
Okay.
Because I got the
Instead of
women
having
night
it on
one.
SmackDown,
Yeah,
move both of them back to Mania.
yeah.
They're making it 7 hours. You might as well.
Yeah, women night one, men night two. So you got a good balance on each show. And then the second match on the pre-show for the women's tag team championships, we have Damage Control, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Shayna and Zoe Stark. And I'm throwing a monkey wrench in there too, versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell in a triple
Ooh,
threat
it's a
tag
triple.
team match. Triple threat
Could be a
tag team
triple.
match.
Could be a fatal four way. Could the women be doing a TLC this year?
Oh, if that's the case, then I got to take them off. But just for now,
We'll
that
talk about it later. We'll talk about it
yeah,
later. We'll talk about it later.
we'll save that for your
But I
episode.
love where you're at because that's what I have originally down on paper is Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay, so
We'll talk about that another time.
that's my second match on my pre-show, and then going to the main card, kicking off. See, I don't know if this is gonna kick it off or not, but I feel like it will. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay, so this is following the women's match.
This is after the pre-show. This is the first
Oh,
match
this
on
is
the
after
main
the
card.
pre-show. The women's. Oh no, because then okay.
Yeah. Seth and Drew are the first match for the world title on the main card.
On the main card, they're the first match. They're the
They're
opener.
they're
Seth
the
is
opener.
always great first.
Yeah. So they're the opener of the match. Don't have a winner. Don't know who it will be. Probably know who it's going to be, but that's where I'm at. And then next we have for the tag team titles. Wait, now that I think about it. No, wait, I got to take it back. Rewind. Because if my plan goes the way I want it to, Judgment Day is going to kick off the show with the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm.
They main evented last year. They're going to kick it off this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who they're facing, I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say DIY.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else it could be. Maybe the New Day
Urban isn't our truth.
or Miz and R-Truth. I don't know, but they're going to be facing somebody for the tag titles. I feel like that whole tag title situation stuck in limbo. But Judgment Day, yeah, Judgment Day are going to kick off them the show. Most likely lose the titles. But they're going to be the first match. Then the second match I'm going to do Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar.
It's going to be close to my heart, that match.
And this is where my other spot comes in of a swerve. Rey has ties to ECW.
Absolutely. Absolutely, he does.
I feel like there's gonna be an instance where Legado del Fantasma and the LWO like cancel each other out, and there's gonna be some ECW legends there that back Ray up. Now, who the legends are, I don't know, but Ray's got ties to like RVD. He's got ties to Sabu, Psychosis. Like, there's a couple ECW legends you could have there. You could bring Conan in if you
And
really
this is
wanted
Triple
to.
H's company, so all
Yeah,
their
this
beefs.
is Triple H. So
Triple H don't have no
that's
beef. He do
that's gonna
business with
be
everybody.
my second match right there. Ray versus Santos Escobar. The
Quick pause
third,
too before he says this next match. Any 2K creators, and I'm gonna clip this up too, just for my own benefit. Um, if anybody's making ECW Rey Mysterio and some ECW pack out there, add us
mm-hmm.
so I can save that because I want an ECW Rey. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a
we
very
gonna need one.
ECW year for this game. The way
Yes,
that they put blood in here, it's gonna be a very ECW kind of year, especially with the DLCs coming.
very
Great,
much so.
just so anybody doing ECW packs, ECW Ray with the mask to say ECW on the back of it would be super
Mm-hmm.
dope. And I saw somebody already working on Super Crazy, so I know
There's gonna be
the
somebody out
folks.
there.
There's got to be somebody.
All
All right,
right,
keep going.
so the next match, after the Ray and Santos match, I'm gonna go with Rhea versus Becky. I don't know if there's gonna be more people added to this women's world title match. There could be, there might not be. There's talks of it being a fatal four way. I'm leaving it how it is right now. Rhea and Becky, women's world title. That's gonna be the next match. So that'll be the third match on the card.
And it'll be the stinker.
That'll be the third match on the card. Next, I'm gonna move up because I started them first, though.
No,
I
I'm
started them
joking. My
first.
bad.
Started them first. I'm gonna bring them up to fourth.
Okay.
Seth and Drew McIntyre for the world heavyweight title.
Mm.
I have a sneaking suspicion there's either gonna be a cash in this night or the following night on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I moved them from the first match because it's the first match. The cash in's not happening at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not the first match, it could still happen at Mania. But Seth and Drew, fourth match, I feel like that's good because of who the fifth match is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is given a lot of stock into this match. It's not even announced. I don't even know if this match is going to happen. But in the fifth match, the co-main event of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
Versus Jade. It's the only match this year that we've been like, I feel like this is coming for sure, and nothing's happened.
I feel like this is gonna happen. I think it might. They might even pull it off like the Undertaker thing, like
There's still time.
when John challenged Undertaker, and nobody said anything until like literally that night, as the moment as it happened. I feel like it's gonna be something like that.
And she still lingers around the locker room, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
I really want that.
So in the co-main event, I got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And then rounding it off at the main event spot, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And I'm going to make a prediction right now. No bloodline. It's no, well, there will be bloodline, but there won't be bloodline. Because I think what's going to happen is they're going to win night one, Seth and Cody. They will win night one. Night two, it's going to be no bloodline. But we're still going to get an interference from somebody who's not bloodline. but will be Bloodline. That's my opinion on it. We will get an appearance night 2 from somebody in that match. It isn't Bloodline, but it's Blood.
Spooky.
Don't know who it is.
Mm.
You know, it could be a werewolf. It could be a gorilla. I don't know who, but we're gonna get some kind of interference night 2.
I like it.
That is my booking of night 1 and night 2. What do you think of the match placement?
I like your call at the end. I think the whole lineup was tremendous for both nights. Again, night one definitely the better night as far as it kept the theme of like night one being better, probably more entertaining in ring,
Mm-hmm.
and night two being probably better or more dramatic, or like more important stories
Yes.
being told. But yeah, love the placements. Uh, love both cards. I don't know how I'm gonna top that. I'm gonna have to really think about it.
The way I looked
But
at it was night 1 is your high spots, your craziness, your stuff you want to see.
mm-hmm,
Night 2 is the stuff you need to see.
mm-hmm.
Like you might not want it, but it's you need it. This is what the important stuff is.
These are the things that need to happen.
A lot of the business is going to get taken care of
Yeah,
Sunday.
Becky and Rhea needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a night two thing.
Yeah. And then Seth and Drew, you know,
mm-hmm,
Judgment Day with the tag titles. I feel
mm-hmm,
like that's going to be a night 2 thing because all you got to have all Judgment Day on one card. And then the Legends night 2 with ECW. I feel like that's
mm-hmm,
got to be a thing because Hall of Fame Friday,
mm-hmm,
Saturday recuperate, or Saturday get their announcements, and then Sunday is when they play.
mm-hmm.
Does it? So do I
I'm
get
just
this?
thinking about the legend spots that could be in Ray versus Santos.
There's a few. There's a few. Like
I have a
RV.
few different.
Like RVD could make it. Psychosis could probably show up. Conan.
You
Like
know,
there's
it
a
could break out to a point where it's a whole gang war, and I'm
yeah.
imagining Paul coming out in an ECW hat, being like, "This is Philadelphia. We're not doing it like this. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys are gonna fight, then we're all gonna fight under extreme rules."
Paul Heyman announces it as an Extreme Rules match.
LWO versus Legado in an extreme rules match right now in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Paul announcing an Extreme Rules match. It'd be kind of like Teddy saying you're going 1-on-1 with the
With the
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
I like it.
Or
But
he'd spin and say something like we're taking it to the extreme or something like that. But yeah, it's just that's a great
I would say I get this.
that's a great note you put in there about making that the ECW spot.
Yeah, because you kind of have to, right? It's like there's no other matches on night 2 that you could do that for.
Yeah, and there's really nobody else on the roster with like ECW ties anymore.
Yeah.
Except for Ray, so yeah.
I mean, Cody to a super, super slight extent, but that's a stretch. That's more his father. That's his father more than him.
Ray was there.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody else on the roster. Well, technically Randy for a night.
Yeah, right.
But we don't count that. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, do I get the Stevie Jobber stamp of approval for my card?
That sounds like an amazing card to me.
Okay.
Sounds like an amazing card and sounds like everything I want on night 1 being there live, and everything they can have on night 2 that we can watch at home. Man, that sounds tremendous to me, man.
All right. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this was Dangerous Duke and Stevie Jobber. The first half of us booking WrestleMania. The next half will be Stevie Jobber. As always, guys, you know where to find us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on X. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, DangerousJobbersWebsite.com. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can listen to this podcast. Make sure you drop a comment. Let us know what you thought of the predictions of the night 1 and night 2. Let us know some matches you would add, some matches you would take away. Something that you want to throw in there, drop it in the comments because we want to hear it. But that's it for this episode. Make sure you guys stay up. Make sure you guys stay blessed. And as always, stay dangerous.
People have been asking me,
To be the best in the world.
why, Eddie, why?